Saraswati Vidyalaya Union High School and Junior College welcomes all the students of Standard 8. In today's History Chapter 11, Struggle for Equality, we are going to continue with part 2nd. So let us continue further, children. Last time we had seen about Sani Guruji and about the peasants movement. Let us see further now. In this part, we will continue with some extra knowledge regarding Sani Guruji, and we will also study about the workers' unions. Let us see, do you know? Sani Guruji built up unity of the workers. He tried to create strong center of workers' union at Dhule Amalner. He was the president of Mill Workers' Union of Amalner. He went on fast unto death to open the doors of Vitthal temple at Pandharpur for the Dalits. So students, we see about Sani Guruji that he built up unity of the workers. He also tried to create centers of workers' union at Dhule and Amalner. And he was the president of Mill Workers' Union also there. Then he also went on fast unto death to keep the doors of Vitthal temple at Pandharpur. All of us know that at Pandharpur there is a big Vitthal temple. So he also wanted the Dalits to go and have darshan of Lord Vitthal. They should be allowed to take the darshan. So he also had gone for fast unto death. So this was about Sani Guruji. Let's continue further with workers' union. In the later half of the 19th century, textile mills, railway companies and such industries were started in India. The workers' group had not aroused on large scale, but in this period efforts were made to solve the problems of the workers. Sashipad Banerjee and Narayan Meghaji Lokhande organized the workers at local level. Lokhande's contribution to the working class movement was so valuable that he is described as father of Indian workers' movement. So, students, in the workers' union, in the later part of the 19th century, the textile mills, railway companies and other industries were started in India, but they were not that much on large scale as it is now today. It requires time. Now, during that time, efforts were made to solve the problems of the workers. So that time, whatever the problems the workers faced, efforts were made to solve that problems. It was Sashipada Banerjee and Narayan Meghaji Lokhande. As you can see in the picture, they organized all the workers at local level, and Lokhande's contribution was that to the working class movement, and it was so much valuable what he did for the workers that he is called as the father of Indian workers' movement. Let's continue further. At the same time, an agitation was launched against the wretched condition of the tea plantation workers in Assam. Now in Assam, you know, students, that lots of tea plantations are there because heavy rainfall is there in Assam and tea grows in abundance. But the condition of those who were doing this tea plantation, who were working there, the condition of those workers was very wretched, means it was very miserable. So in 1899, the Great Indian Peninsular GIP railway workers called for a strike for their demands. During the anti-partition movement, workers carried out strikes from time to time in support of Swadeshi. After the First World War, due to industrialization, there was rise of workers' class in India, and then a necessity for nationwide worker union was felt. With this necessity, in 1920, All India Trade Union Congress (AITUC) was established. N.M. Joshi had a major role in the working of AITUC. Lala Lajpat Rai was the president of the first session of AITUC. He told the workers there to actively participate in the national movement. So students, in 1899, I'll explain to you from the third line. In 1899, the Great Indian Peninsular, that is GIP, railway workers, they called for a strike for their demands, for their miserable conditions. So during the anti-partition movement, workers carried out strikes from time to time, and in support of Swadeshi movement was also there, that using of the Indian goods and boycotting the foreign goods, that was Swadeshi. So the workers, they supported this, and after the First World War, due to industrialization, there was rise of workers class in India. So when the First World War ended, and because of industrialization, which began first in England and spread everywhere, so there was rise of workers class in India also, and then there was a necessity for nationwide workers union. So all over nationwide workers union, need for the workers union was felt. With this necessity, in 1920, we are talking before the freedom struggle, in 1920 All India Trade Union Congress, AITUC, was established. Now N.M. Joshi had a major role in the working of this All India Trade Union Congress. Lala Lajpat Rai was the president of the first session of this AITUC. He was the first president, and he told the workers to actively participate in the national movement. Shripad Amrut Dange, Muzaffar Ahmad, such socialist leaders, by spreading the socialist ideology among the workers, worked to form militant organizations. Now there were others also. They tried to form militant organizations. They were spreading socialist ideology among the workers. Let's continue further. In 1928, the Mumbai Mill Workers Union went on strike for 6 months. Many such strikes were made by the railway workers, jute mill workers. So it was in 1928, the Mumbai Mill Workers. We know that in Mumbai there were many mills. So there, the mill workers, they went on a strike for about 6 months. And many such strikes were made by the railway workers also, and also by the jute mill workers. Jute sacks, we have known that jute mill workers, that workers also went on strike. Let's see further. The government was disturbed to see the growing strength of the workers' movement. To suppress this movement, legislations were made. The workers' struggle proved to be supportive to the national movement. So the government that time was the British government. Naturally, it was disturbed to see all this growing strength of the workers and the workers' movements coming together. So it tried in every way to suppress these movements. They made the legislations, they made the laws. The workers' struggle proved to be very supportive in the national movement for getting independence. Now, let us see, do you know, means some extra knowledge. The native place of Narayan Meghaji Lokhande was Kanhesar near Saswad in Pune district. He formed the mill workers union known as Bombay Mill Hands Association in 1890. Now children, earlier I told you about Narayan Meghaji Lokhande. So information about him, what things he has done is given here. He was from Kanhesar, which is near Saswad, and he formed the Mill Workers Union, which is known as Bombay Mill Hands Association, and it was formed in 1890. This workers union is believed to be the beginning of organized movements in India. He was also the chairman of Mumbai branch of Satyashodhak Samaj, founded by Mahatma Phule. So he was also the chairman of Mumbai branch of Satyashodhak Samaj, which was founded by Mahatma Phule. Mahatma Phule had founded the Satyashodhak Samaj. Due to the efforts of Narayan Meghaji Lokhande, from 10 June 1890, the workers started getting weekly holidays on Sunday. So you can just think the condition of the workers was so miserable that they were not given holidays also. But because of his efforts, because of the efforts of Narayan Meghaji Lokhande, the workers started getting weekly holidays on Sundays. Now next, socialist movement. Now socialist movement, the socialist philosophy, this also became active during that time. Many of the young activists in the Indian National Congress felt that for protecting the interest of the people, it is necessary to overthrow the British government. Similarly, they started realizing that the society should be restructured on the principle of economic and social equality. Through this realization, there was rise and growth of socialist ideology. The socialist youths, while they were in prison at Nasik, decided to form the Socialist Party within the Indian National Congress. So, students, this socialist movement, in this many activists were there and they were in the Indian National Congress. These young activists who were there, they were having the idea to have socialist idea. It is, that is, they felt the need that to protect the interest of the people. When we have to protect the people, the common people, it is necessary to overthrow the British government, means to not follow, to overthrow, to remove the British government and to have our own government. So they started realizing that the society should be restructured. So first of all, the society, we should start from the base. The society should be restructured on the principle of economic and social equality. So it should be restructured, it should be, the society should be equalized on the basis of economic, means money, and again social equality, that caste and all that, with reference to that at least something equality should be brought. This youth started thinking on that philosophy. Through this realization, there was rise and growth of socialist ideology. So socialist ideology was born in their mind. The socialist youths, they were in prison at Nasik. When they were imprisoned, that time they decided to form the Socialist Party. So they all came together, they formed the Socialist Party within the Indian National Congress, and because they belong to Indian National Congress, so this Socialist Party was formed within the Indian National Congress. Let's see further. According to this decision, in 1934, the Congress Socialist Party was formed, which included leaders like Acharya Narendra Dev, Jay Prakash Narayan, Minu Masani, Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia, etc. In Quit India movement of 1942, these young socialists were in the forefront. So all these young socialists, they were in the forefront even in the Quit India movement of 1942. The Socialist Party was formed in the year 1934 within the Congress, and all these were active. Indians got introduced to Karl Marx and his communism. Lokmanya Tilak had already written an article on Marx in 1881. After First World War, the influence of communism was felt in India. Manvendranath Roy played an active role in the international communist movement. So, students, Lokmanya Tilak was also leader that time. He got introduced to Karl Marx philosophy. Karl Marx philosophy was based on communism, which is on haves and have-nots. Okay, so Lokmanya Tilak had written an article on this Marx philosophy in 1881. Then after First World War, the influence of communism was felt in India. This influence was felt even in India. And Manvendranath Roy, he played an active role in the international communist movement. Let's continue further. In 1925, the Communist Party was formed in India. The work of building militant organizations of workers and peasants was done by the young communists. So the Communist Party was formed accordingly, students, in 1925, and they also did the work of building militant organizations. So these were all the things done for getting freedom for India. The British government started feeling the danger of communist movement. Now the British they started feeling the danger of this communist movement because many young people were there in this and militant organizations were also formed. Shripad Amrud Dange, Muzaffar Ahmad Keshav, Nilkant Zoglekar, etc. were arrested because the British felt the danger, so they arrested them. They were charged with planning of a conspiracy to overthrow the British rule. They were given different punishments. The trial took place at Meerut and is therefore known as the Meerut conspiracy case. Even after the Meerut trial, the influence of communist workers movement remained constant. So when the British felt the danger, they arrested all these leaders, all these people, and they were put the charge of planning a conspiracy to overthrow the British rule. So these charges were put on them that they were trying to remove the British. So they were given different punishments, and all of them, this trial, it took place at a place called Meerut. Okay, and therefore it is known as Meerut conspiracy case, because the British were feeling danger of these organizations. And after this Meerut trial, but still the influence of communist workers movement, it remained constant in India. Now next is about feminist movement. This we will continue further in the next part, children. Thank you, students.